What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment your work stress disappears as you kayak through the canyons. Or the moment you discover the life-changing effects of prickly pear chocolate. But nothing beats the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the very first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
Hey people, this is my mom's show where she talks about us. We give her the things that we give y'all the show. Get Cody, here you come.
Yay! Hey guys, welcome back to Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan, Mama of the Girls, aka Mommy Rocky. Y'all see the title. Did you push your kids too far or too hard? As a parent, it's very important to know the personality and stamina of your kids or kid. Certain triggers and behavior issues, crying, what type of cry are they making? Are they making you cry because they're in trouble? Are they making a cry because they're frustrated? Are they making a cry because they're tired? All of that. Are they making a cry because they have to do homework? You should be able to understand why they're aggressive, where that is coming from. Why is this all out the blue? Because an assignment is too hard, or because they're being bothered and pushed to the limits and now it's coming out, it's bubbling over. How do you know when you yourself are pushing too hard? How do you know when you're pushing your kid to do something that they don't know how to do correctly, or push them because they're lazy, or push them because they're not outgoing enough? How do you know that the way that you're pushing them is positive? What if it's negative reinforcement? And that's what I want to talk about today. How do you know that you are pushing your child in a positive way versus a negative way? Let's talk. Are you out there trying to start your own podcast? You don't know where to start. You don't know how to organize it. You're not sure of what your flow should be. You have a name, but you don't really know what are like the key things you want to push out there. You want to make sure you tap all the areas, whether it's with guests or whether you have details about how you want to close the show or start the show. You want to format what season you're in, all of those little things that you want to know when you're starting your podcast. Cool, because the best thing about podcasts is there is no rules. But I do have a handy dandy journal just for new podcast starters. It's a starter, like think of it like a starter workbook journal for people who are starting their podcast and finding their flow and their niche in podcasting, because there's millions of podcasts now. Everybody's starting one, but it's the ones that stay consistent and see it through. Cozy Womb Podcast is on its 15th season. I started it in 2018, and when I started, I knew nothing really of how I wanted this to go, how far I wanted it to go. You would really think I would run out of information, but I haven't, because I created a format for me to always develop a new focus each season. So I want to help you too. Go to lulu.com, LULU.com, put in the THEE podcast journal. Okay, you're going to see a book of mine pop up. I just did it for you guys, and you can purchase that book right off of Lulu, sent directly to your home, and start writing, start creating, and get on your podcast today. All right, now back to the show. In kid parent news, there's some things that I want to say. There's some things that I want to say. Stop dropping your kids at doorsteps and driving off. That's not smart for adults, and that is not smart for parents who have small children to just leave them outside somebody's door, assuming somebody's going to open the door, assuming somebody's going to be home because they haven't been answering the phone, so you think they're inside and they're dodging you. It doesn't matter. Are there some days where I wake up and I'm just like, ugh, I know, like, her dad has this going on today and this going on today, but I can't today and I need help. Let me just drive over there and drop her off. I would never drive over to his house and drop our kid at his door and drive off without knowing like what he has going on. It's inconsiderate, it's irresponsible, and there's another way to deal with a co-parenting issue. There's another way to deal with needing help, needing assistance. Leaving a child outside at a doorstep is not it. Leaving children in car seats on lawns is not it. And let me say this, when it comes to two parents parenting but not living together, both of you should have a closet wardrobe of clothes and things for that child. Nobody should be worried about, did you bring the jeans back that I got them? Did you bring the shirt back that I got them? That's one thing I will say that I don't do with any of my kids' dads. Like, whatever you want them to come to my house in, put it on their body. If you have clothes in the bag for her, put it in there. I'm going to see it. If it's something I bought, I will put it away. If it's something you have, I will leave it in the bag. All this, well, did you buy her sneakers? What size did you buy? Did you buy her sneakers? Did you buy her a coat? Did you buy her this pants? Why you bought the same thing I bought? Who cares? Make sure your child has clean clothes, is going to the doctor on a regular basis, and both of y'all know who the doctor is, where the medical card is. Make sure both of y'all know any health issues that's going on with the child. Make sure y'all are on the same page when it comes to choices with the health issues. Make sure if both of y'all are trying to travel, that y'all know where the child is going to be if the child is coming. Make sure the other parent is comfortable with the child going to wherever you're going to. It's just consideration. It's not really a big deal. But when two parents don't respect each other, there's always issues. Stop leaving space heaters on and kids in the room. A lot of fires start every year and end very fatal because people leave space heaters on too long or too close to a bed, or in a room that has faulty wiring, or people are not paying attention, or kids are playing, and sometimes blankets go in front of that stuff. Sometimes toys that can burn easily go in front of that stuff. Sometimes things just stop working and malfunction, and then you have like a whole family trapped in a house. Stop leaving space heaters on and plugged in. Unplug it. Okay? Turn it off first and unplug it. Teach your kids not to yank any cords out the wall. That's important too. And if you're bundled up and you're outside, your kids should be bundled up even more while you're outside. Like, I don't understand why parents just tell their kids to put on their jackets or their coats, and their hat is not on, their hat is in their hand, their coat is open. what's the point? Make sure if your jacket is closed and your hat is on and your stuff is zipped and tied up, make sure your kid is ready to go outside before y'all go outside, even if it's a walk to the car. Like, be a parent. Check on your kid. And that's all I got for kids news and parent news, because a lot of y'all slacking. Let's get into this meat. I give my oldest homework because her teacher doesn't really give her homework consistently every week. I had a math test. I had a spelling test for her. When I went to school, I had math, English, history, science, and studying spelling words for homework every day until Friday, where you had to take the spelling test. Like, these kids today, they really get nothing. They are living the good life, okay? So now these new kids that we have are built different. They're kind of soft, you know? Be easy. We cannot use fear to create lessons anymore, okay? That's called bullying, okay? These children are well versed. You create a divide when you push too hard on the kids today, or torment them into studying, or torment them into giving the right answer. Automatically, I think we should learn our kids and pull back if we need to pull back, and be aware that we need to pull back, and not in our egos that we need to pull back. Well, my dad raised me like this. Well, my mom raised me like this. So your child is completely different from you. Your child is not you. They're a part of you. So if you got a kid that embraces the challenge, cool. Challenge them. Push them. But if you have a child that does not take criticism well that way, stop doing it. Comparing siblings is another thing that you should not do. Comparing siblings against each other as improvement pushers, no, that creates envy, jealousy, hate, and what's the word I'm looking for? Getting a brain fart. And it's not regret, it's more animosity towards that kid because they're quote unquote mom's favorite or dad's favorite. You know, punishing your child with knowledge will make them resent learning. That's the word I was looking for. It will make kids resent learning. If you be like, you know, you wrote on my walls, go read a book, and then your kid doesn't do anything bad and they don't want to read now because they feel that that's a form of punishment. Don't do that. Kids will resent learning things new because they're going to think they're in trouble because they have to do it, or you're suggesting that they do it. Give them labor that they can gain skills from physically, mentally, like washing the clothes, sorting the clothes, picking up all the trash out the yard, cutting the lawn, you know, helping you do a home improvement little DIY project. I don't know, but make them do something that requires skills, but it's not really something they wanted to do in the first place. Making your child eat things that they truly hate. This is my thing as a parent. If it gets to a point where you're going to waste the food that I bought that I can also eat, I'm not going to keep giving it to you and telling you to eat it, because some people, the way that their taste buds is set up, they just don't like certain things. And who am I to force you to eat something that makes you want to vomit? I'm not doing it. There was one time where Ari's dad picked her up really late, and she got to his house, and he was like, he called me, he was yelling, he was like, why you didn't feed her? Why is she asking me for food at this time of night? I said, well, what I had cooked, or what I had, she didn't want to eat. What do you mean she didn't want it? She's a 4-year-old. Da, 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 da. Listen, I live solo with 2 kids. and I don't have $1 trillion in the bank. And when it comes to me buying food and cooking food and, giving the girls dinner, I respect you more as a kid if you tell me you don't want what I got versus I give you what I got and you waste it and I could have ate it or I could have given it to someone else. Like, if she tells me she doesn't want that and she's not hungry, okay. If I offer her another option and she doesn't want that either, okay. That's what happens when you have a child that gets to decide things that they shouldn't have to decide or can decide. And then one parent at the other house is like, no, this is what you got. And this is your other option. If you don't want that, then don't eat. Like, two different parenting styles sometimes clash. Also, forcing your kid to do sports that they're not passionate about or good at. That is counterproductive. Stop it. Forcing them into dance or playing an instrument, that's forced parenting, and we all need to stop doing it so we can stop giving these kids anxiety when it comes to school or extracurricular activities, or them being scared to have their own opinion on things because their parents never let them. Like, we've truly got to get to a point where we embrace the fact that our children are...
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Just little humans with small personalities, and if they don't like certain things, it's okay. We're going to live to fight another day. Like, stop fighting them on this, okay? Now, when do you know that your child needs help? When do you know that your child needs a push, a positive push? You know your child needs help, and I feel like that doesn't give you the right to embarrass them because they need help. Remember that. Like, I was that kid that used to cry just because I needed help or was confused. Like, legit embarrassed that I needed help. The more my struggle was brought to my attention that I needed help, the stronger my wall got. The taller my wall got. The more I didn't want your help because you keep making it loud that I need your help. And I was like that because I never got to see my parents embrace help. And this is what I mean by that. My mom was a very, okay, if you're not going to assume I need help and help me, then I'm going to struggle and do it myself type of woman. Okay? And my dad was very independent, and he made moves however he wanted to make moves, and he did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, and he made money doing so. So I never got an example of what it's like for humans to need help and embrace help. So when it came to like my schoolwork, I was embarrassed and frustrated and mad that yes, I'm struggling, and I don't know how to not struggle because I'm struggling. And then the only other option is to ask for help, something I don't want to do because I've created some type of ego or pride wall because that's what I saw my parents do. And I thought if I was doing anything less than what they did, then I wasn't doing my best. So there's that. So remember that. Some parents do not know if they should be strict, fun, or both. And I think parenting is about finding your own footing. I can't tell you how to parent 110%, but I can tell you some options and the outcome with that parenting that you're choosing. I know for my kids, they need balance, so both work. I can be strict sometimes, and I can be fun, and I can be both. I embrace them with love, and I have a belt that I use if need be, discipline-wise. I take away games, TV, opportunities. I take away check out Cozy Womb Shop. That's where you can find hoodies, t-shirts, onesies, mugs, and all that good Cozy Womb gear. Now back to the show. The fact that they can enjoy certain holidays, I take that away. I find ways to let them understand their lessons. Like right now, Anya's on punishment and she hasn't had her iPad since last month, and we're going into March, and March is when she'll be able to get it if she does what she needs to do. And what that has done is it has helped her brain to discover and read more and create things from scratch with cardboard that she can play with and be inventive and create her own world in the house. And I like it because I feel like that's where kids learn the most and explore the house. When I was a kid, my favorite thing was to go home and be able to explore the big house. The house that we had in Philadelphia had 3 floors, right? It had a very full, long basement. It was a row house, so it went straight back. My dad used to have a barbershop salon in the bottom of it, and then he moved his barbershop closer to 56th Street in Philly. So under there, my mom put like sewing machines, and she was sewing in the basement. It was dark to get down there to get to her, but that's where she would sew a lot. It had an entrance door on the side of the house. It had an entrance door to the back of the house. It had 3 doors to the front of the house. Back in the day, it used to be an apartment upstairs and an apartment on the bottom. But then my dad cut out the wall and he made it one house. So it was just a lot to explore. And so I think when kids get to explore their home, it builds their character. So sometimes punishment can be healthy encouragement and entertainment. And I feel like we have to find healthy encouragement for our kids. So I think taking breaks with your kids is good. Planning with your kids is better. Including children's opinions on things is good. Not all the time, but some of the time is good. Being an example of what you want them to do is perfect. Okay, but a lot of us fail at it. Providing mind-challenging toys is very smart. Montessori schools use mind-challenging toys on babies. That's how they learn a lot faster. And then when they get to Montessori school, they're in a classroom of a lesser number of kids, maybe 12 kids from different age ranges. And they feed off of each other and they learn faster. So just think about that. Be honest. Teach your child to be honest and be honest with your child. Okay? Don't ask them to be anything that you're not doing or being. Step away from the screen. Step away from the iPad. Step away from the Game Boy, step away from the PlayStation, Xbox, the TV, all of that stuff. Step away from it, step away from the computer, and, embrace outside. Play a board game. Develop some character, okay? let your children help you cook. For me, that's hard. I told the girls, like, we'll make a pizza from scratch once I buy a house and we have a bigger island and room for them to be in the kitchen on all sides. But just having like a L-shaped slab counter and having the idea of having the girls in the kitchen cooking with me, oh my God, no. My mom does it when she comes to visit, but I cannot. Let them help you clean. Let them help you shop for certain things. There's this app called, let me not lie. Let me tell you what this app is called. It's this app called Yuka, right? Yuka. And what it does is it grades the things that you're buying by how healthy it is or how poor it is. And so now when we go in the grocery store, Anya's asking for my phone to scan stuff. Ari's asking for my phone to scan stuff. So we're scanning stuff together, and that's just like our thing when we go to the grocery store. I usually try to get things that score a 70 or above, as far as like healthiness. So it really helps me cut out like the junk food. And they really feel like they're helping when they do that. Allow children to have their own point of view. You can't tell them, hey, when you go to school, don't follow behind what everybody else is doing, be your own leader, but you never listen to their point of view at home. That doesn't make any sense. Also, ways that you know you're pushing your kids too hard. Okay? You know that you're pushing your kids too hard when they automatically lack confidence at home as well as at school. If they're shutting down in class, you're probably pushing them too hard. If they're crying while doing homework, you're probably pushing them too hard. Or there's a conversation that needs to be had about, hey, it's okay to have help. I had help, and give them an example of how you had help. Because whether you know it or not, your kids automatically think that you're smart and you know everything and you do everything right because you're their parent and you're older. Kids don't really realize that you're imperfect just like them until they get closer to adult age, and they be like, oh, you were just trying to figure it out just like me. At least that's what happened to me. I used to think my mom was like Superwoman because she always had the right answer. She always made things work. She always came through when things seemed impossible, and till this day, my mom still feels like home. Every time my mom is around me, I feel like I'm capable of doing anything and everything. I feel completely at peace. I can easily leave my house and leave the girls here and feel like they're under the best supervision in the world, and my mind can be free. My mind can be free only when my mom watches my kids. And that's scary. That one person can hold so much peace for you. But yeah, if your child is having behavior issues, there's probably something that they need to do.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment your work stress disappears as you kayak through the canyons. Or the moment you discover the life-changing effects of prickly pear chocolate. But nothing beats the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the very first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.
If you say to you, or a way that you need to be more involved with them that they're screaming out to get. If your kid just stops trying, period, something happened, something is stopping them. They are building a wall for a reason. It's never for nothing. You're pushing your kid too hard if they are over talking all the time, or they're overreacting all the time, or they're throwing blame on why their work isn't prepared. They have excuses upon excuses upon excuses, okay? A lot of Self-doubt is a sign that, yeah, your method of parenting isn't working. Try something new. So, if you have a kid and you are experiencing anything of what I went over, maybe you are pushing your kid too hard. Maybe the way that you're parenting does not work for your kid. Maybe your kid needs like a different parenting style, or you can ask another parent that you appreciate and are comfortable with, what would you suggest? Maybe he's talking to their teachers or coaches or their best friends to see, what's the in on what they're going through or what they're saying. Explore the possibilities. The internet is out here. Just find some Wi-Fi and start texting or typing in what you need to know. But don't be out here bullying your children at home and expecting them to be able to stand up for themselves in a positive manner in the world. It doesn't make sense. My name is Shan. This is Cozy Womb Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for embracing a different method of parenting and trying to be good at it and trying to be better at it. I am Mommy Rocky, the mama of the girls. You can email me at cozywombbmama@gmail.com. If you want to call into the show and leave any comments about anything you heard, any tips for parenting or kids, any new projects that you're working on that can help parents or kids, call into the show at 770-284-8175 and leave a message. If you have something to promote that can help parents, or anything right now that can help parents who might be struggling in getting their babies food or formula. Formula has gone up tremendously. I saw a can of food for babies of formula is like at $51, and they go through that every 3 days. So if there are any resources out here to help moms and dads, let me know. If there are any food drives, let me know. If there are any clothing drives, let me know. People are out here trying to do their best in parenting, but people are out here and they need help. So if you have anything that can help a mom, a dad, or kids, call into the show and let me know. This is Cozy Womb Podcast. I will check you guys back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth. Be polite and be kind. Peace.